Good morning. It's Monday, April 10th, 2023. My name is Terry Morgan. We are here to practice Wudang Dragon Sword. You will notice that we are in the smaller studio this morning. There's been, oh golly gee. Yeah, I'm not going there. Good things, not so good things. Hey, we're here. I'm here. That's what we're doing. Alright, so what we have, and I'm going to talk about this as we get ready. One of the things that has happened is that I reviewed what I have, and I was off by one. Okay, so we didn't have 4 sets. We had 3 sets. We get the 4th one today. Alright, so as I'm working through, partly reviewing, partly relearning, and partly discovering some things about Dragon Sword that I've kind of forgotten. That part's fun. That part is great fun. Alright, so as I'm going through that, I'm going back to what I had, trying to connect all of the pieces so that as I'm presenting, there is that collection of things that starts to come together. Well, I was thinking that what we were doing was, here's the opening, and here's move 1, and move 2, and move 3. So there's 4 moves. Yeah, the way that the movements are numbered, the opening is 0. If you'd like to talk to Professor Leo about it, he's still with us, and you could call him in China. You just have to speak Chinese. Alright, so no guarantee he's going to answer the phone, but you could try. Anyway, that list of here are the names of the movements, and here's what's going on in the movements, is something that I want to pay attention to. So, we're working on movement 4 today. Feet about shoulder width apart. Open the arms. Circle the front. Back around to both sides. Up along the center line. Reach out. Smile. Bend the knees. And again. And one more time. All the way up. Elbows drop down, wrists, fingertips, hands return to your sides. Okay, so there is no getting around that I'm really late this morning, and that was it. I want to talk about it. The only reason that I mention it, okay, so first of all, I wasn't on time, and it matters to me that I was so distracted that I wasn't on time. That bothers me. Bothers me a lot. And as I had to take a step back and calm myself down, relax for, it took me 2 hours. It took me 2 hours. To calm down. Alright, you're going to teach this morning. Here's what you're going to teach. This is what you need to pay attention to. Breathe. Let's get ready. Let's go. That process is what I want to talk about. Because that process is fundamental to what we want to practice. I don't want to practice being upset over dog barking. That's what it was. I don't want to practice that. I don't. I really do not want to practice that. And what do I want to practice? So if I don't want that, what do I want? Okay? Breathe, calm, Take it easy, relax. Let's move through what we're working on so that the emotional body, the physical body, the chi, the life force body, the spirit, and not the, the ghosts and spirits kind of thing, that animating spirit that lets us know that we're doing something that we like, that gives us a sense of purpose and peacefulness, as well as giving us something to do. Very important to have something to do. I was going to talk about that Friday, and I'm going to mention it real quick because it's connected to, and this is a philosophical point that is seen repeatedly in the Taoist philosophy as well as in the Book of Changes, the I Ching. I Ching. This is related, not necessarily directly, but very much related to Bagua, because the 8 trigrams that we refer to in the Bagua drawing are the 8 trigrams that we see in the I Ching, the Book of Changes. In those sayings, in that approach to how we look at the world, there is one thing that reappears. It furthers one to have somewhere to go. Think about that for a minute. And this is from the Wilhelm translation, so it's an old translation. I could go back, I have to pull it up in Chinese and look at it. It furthers one to have somewhere to go. Whatever's going on now is not tenable. It cannot be sustained. That's what it means. Whatever's going on right now isn't what can be sustained. You can't stay here. You got to go somewhere. It furthers one to have somewhere to go. If we have somewhere to go, then we're not stuck here anymore. Got somewhere to go. Where are we going to go? In practice. In our practice, right here. Where are we going to go? There's an answer. There it is. We're going to go to that state of mind. The body is quiet. Spirit is calm. The breath is relaxed. The chi is circulating quietly and fully. And all appearances return to their root. Doesn't matter. It is. That in Japanese philosophy, Zen, or also Zazen, down. That quiet, hang on, peaceful, quiet, calm, and the sense that it is. There's It just is. There's no fighting against, there's no railing against. That emotion becomes calm. And it goes away. Being able to do that is one of the things that I had to learn. Took me a long time. It did. It's not easy. And it requires two things. First, practice. The practice has to be there. If you haven't built the practice, you can't use it. It has to be there. Second, you have to be brutally honest with yourself. You don't get to dance around it, you don't get to play with it, you don't get to nothing. You must look at what's going on and be completely honest. You don't have to tell anybody. I don't have to share. I don't have to tell you what I found out. But I did. I've learned several things. I don't have to tell you about it. I do want to tell you that the only way to find out is to be 100% honest with yourself. Once you find out what that is, now you can apply that practice to quiet the mind, quiet the heart, quiet the breath, still the body, and return to the root, Da. That practice, that's more important than the sword lesson for this morning. It really is. And I'll pull that out in the discussion. It really is so very important. Being able to sustain that quiet is how we sustain practice and how we gain that long life benefit that all of the ancient texts and modern texts talk about, all of the modern teachers, everybody that I've ever talked to. Why do we want to practice? We want to practice to keep the body moving and supple, and there's so much more beyond that. That's why we want to practice. What we practice, the particulars that I'm going to teach for Dragon Sword this morning, it matters for Dragon Sword practice. For lifelong practice, being able to find and address those things that interfere, and to take that practice and apply it to a situation and a circumstance that you really need to apply it to. Right? What else can you do? What else can you do? Apply the practice. Alright. Step 4. Dragon waves its tail and twists its body playing in the water. Dragon twists its body. It waves its tail and just waves its tail and twists its body. Okay? Byway of all. Byway. Waves its tail. Bye show. Hi. Bye show. I way bow. Way bow is the tail. Way by way. And twists and turns the body. We had stopped here, right? So, step up, and step up, and step through. Yeah, from here. Right? We just did that. Similar charging down. This time, as I step, right? So I'm here, step, step again, and step forward on the right again, down. I'm going to go back this way for a second. So, here. And just to clarify something, the sword is up and down. I checked, right? So, no, yes. No, yes. For this one, for the previous, it's here. We need to be clear about, and I talked about this, where is it? What are we doing with it, right? So, here, the sword is edge up and down. Here, previous move, the sword is edge side to side. So, which one matters? That placement helps set up what we're doing next. Right? So, as I've extended here, step up on the left, down. Step up on the right, down. Step up on the right again, in. Right? There is a little bit of an angle as we step across to here. Let me see. From here. 1, 2, 3. That's the next move. Yep. Overhead. Yes, we lean back. That's next. All right. I was reviewing this morning. I did take some time to review that part of, and that's part of preparation, right? So get to the point where I can. Now I'm going to do it, and I'm going to say this just real quick because this is philosophy class apparently this morning. My decision that I was going to teach this morning, that this is happening, here I am, is something that I had to think about. And practice, right? I can decide, nah, not going to do it today. Good. Why? Why? Why would I do that? Is it because I don't want to practice this morning? No. It's because something is trying to prevent me from doing what I want to do, which is practice. All right. Now what? Well, I wanted to practice. I was thinking 7 o'clock this morning, didn't happen. Am I going to just say, well, okay? No, I don't want to do that. I'm going to practice. All right, so here I am. How I got here, the fact that I'm here, is the lesson. It's not this sword. It's the practice. All right, back to the sword. You have to have something to do, right? If you're going to practice, you have to have something to do. What are you going to do? Well, right now we're doing dragon sword. Right foot front. Sword is up and down. Left hand back. Step up on the left, and you're going to pass your right foot just a little bit. Turn the tip down to slice. You're slicing in and then up. Okay? So, on the right foot front, here. Down and through, and then it turns to go to the other side. This facility to turn the tip of the sword, talked about that a little bit with the previous move, right? Where we're up here, and come up, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, down, out, right? That 1, 2, 3. Talked about that a lot. That flexibility in the wrist, paying attention to where the tip of the sword is. Where's the tip of the sword? This set pays a lot of attention to the tip, what we're doing with the tip. As we slice down here, there should be, if I had a saw, I'd be sawing, right? Saw through this as I push in. So it's not strictly stick the tip, it's the tip leads and the blade follows. Okay? Little bit different, not a lot, but a little bit different than this one, right? We're not so much thinking here about the blade following as we are catching something to move it out of the way. This one's more the blades following. We're going. Go there. Alright? So, the general idea is similar. Once we get into the particulars, it's just a little bit different. That's my take on this. Now, there could be lots of things where it's, pretty close. All right, it just as we move, step up on the left, around, down on the right, here. That same sense that you're twisting and turning, right? That twist and turn part in the name. Dragon waves its tail and twists in the water and twists its body. Waves its tail and twists its body. Yay, wave the tail and twist the body, right? That, wave the tail, that was it. That's what the sword does. That sense of 1, 2, 3, right? What am I doing with the tip of the blade? What am I trying to do with the tip of the blade? Am I close? Do I have enough flexibility in my wrist to allow the sword to move enough that I can do the move, and not so much so it's not so tight that I can't do anything, right? That flexibility. Yeah, don't catch my shirt either. All right. Flexibility here gives me that. Not too tight, not too loose. Right leg front. Step up to left, step to the right, and down. And don't step through. Don't step through. One more time. Right foot front. Left, right, right. I'm going to check that. That is what I have. Feels off. Feels odd. I've had notes from 12 years. So I'm going to look. That sense that, and I'm going to say this again, that sense that it feels, even though I can look at a video and I can see that that's the step, feels off. Why does it feel off? Is it because my practice? Okay, I can do the step, not a problem. As I come through here, it feels like I should be on this side. I can do that. And I talked about this extensively with Unicorn Playing in the Forest, right? As we're here. Which foot is front? Which foot should be front? Right? If I step here, I can step, come under, right? I can step here, come up and under, and that's wrong. Okay, not only did I hit the plant, it's not the right step. That doesn't feel right. What does? One more time. Right foot front. Left foot. Right foot. Right foot. I know that I have to get from whichever foot I'm on, right? My next move is here. That gives me an opportunity to look at what I'm doing, analyze it to see what makes the most sense for me to get to that next position. All right, so this is practice, and this is part of learning, and it's part of what happens once we step outside the realm of standing in front of video and watching. It's, yeah, hey, what was I supposed to do now? How did that work? I mean, it's how we come to an understanding of what we're doing. So, as I'm here, and step 1, and step 2, step 3. Does this make sense? It could. Good. 1, 2, 3. That makes more sense. It does. It's stronger. and it fits what I'm doing with the blade more logically than if I have to bring up my other leg. That it doesn't, the body mechanics don't work the same way, and when we start to pay attention to that, here, what happens if I bring up my right foot? Go ahead and do it. Step forward with the left. Everything's on this side. Okay? Really? So, on the left. Now, step up with the right and drop the sword to the center. Okay? Same sword hand position. Change the foot. On the right. Step up. How does it feel? What does that difference? See how much cleaner the slice was when I shifted on the first time? That Occam's razor, the simplest explanation is usually correct. We want to keep that in mind always. So as I step here in, very natural, very easy to do, right? If I'm here, I have to adjust something back here. Right? My angle is over here. So now I've got to come all the way up over here to get close. It leaves me in too open. I'm already moving in the direction that I'm going here. I'm not here. I have to change. That adjustment takes away from what I can bring to the movement. So, if I look back, this is what I have in the notes. I've got to look at the Chinese because the Chinese may tell me right foot, left foot. I have to look at that. Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes it just says facing east and yeah, good luck. Other times there is a specific reference to which step, right, and which foot should be where. So I'm going to go back and look at that. I will be back with that tomorrow. All right, right now, 3 times, just this one set. So we're here, we go 1, 2, and in. Right foot to the front, and as the sword comes down, you're not, you want to hit here, not here. All right? So 1, 2, and I didn't step, but I'm here to the center, little bit off to the left, so you've got a cross position here. That, and don't bring your shoulder up, don't bring your elbow up, but you do get to turn the body as this comes down. That sense of placement, where's the end of the sword, where's the tip of the sword, as I come through. Right leg front, left leg back. Not too fast. Step up with the left 1, with the right, on the right. Again. right foot front, step up left, right, right. Again, step up left, right, right. As the sword comes across, this hand comes here, and it sets against the arm. Okay? These two are pushing each other. The more solid this is, right? That change and placement, I'm going right here, okay, helps to add strength to the movement and gives us a little more emphasis that we could put at the tip of the sword. Alright, I'm going to stop here for today. I need to get us back out in the other room for tomorrow. We're going to work more on this move this week. We'll put it back into the sequence just before. I would like a little bit more headroom up here before I do that. Alright, so if we remember, we're here, and then down here, and then we hit this. It pretty much, it does go quickly. It does. So, knowing where the sword should be, knowing where your weight should be, which foot, what am I doing here, and understanding how the blade moves makes all the difference in whether or not you can move more quickly. The more simple the next move, as we're analyzing what we're doing, generally the more simple the move, the more likely it is that that one is correct. As we connect one to another, what makes the most sense? Developing that understanding is part of what we want. I talked also about this philosophical idea of being calm, coming to practice with that sense of openness, with that sense of it is, and whatever we're doing is what we need to be doing, that I'm going to practice. I may have a delay, I may have something that tries to interfere, and if I'm practicing correctly, I can use my practice to dissipate that interference and continue with what I want to do, which for this morning was Dragon Sword. I appreciate y'all being here. Thank you very much. I'll be back tomorrow.